Oh my gosh. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been playing my whole life, so that could happen when you do something your whole life. I was wondering if you could review my entire strategy, support and resistance on daily chart. I use 15 minutes for entry opportunities, 5-minute, 3-minute chart for entry points. Use hammer candles to enter and take profit before daily resistance levels for long. You know, I, I don't know if I could really give you a review on all of that, but as long as you're basing it on something that is real and something that is that you can actually, that's not subjective, you know what I mean? As long as you're basing it off of an objective analysis you've made in the market, then I feel like it should be something that is fine, that you can work on. Now, support and resistance, what do you, I have to ask you a question, what do you consider support and resistance? That's the first thing, because you know there's different types of support and resistance, and not everything you see is support. Just because you see where the candle closed or the candle's bottom or the top of the candle, that doesn't mean it's support or resistance, by the way. That's a total myth. So that's why it's a little tricky, right? Support and resistance. An objective analysis, an objective view of what support would be is somebody holding the market up or down, right? So if they're just bidding the market up with hidden orders, that's support. They're supporting the market, right? Or if the market has a lot of supply, right? If they just keep selling it, all the pullbacks are getting sold into, all the rallies are getting sold into. That's what I meant. That's considered resistance, right? Every time the market goes up, it's met with a supply. Either that, or the market will try to trade into an area and it will reject trade. It will not accept trade there. And what normally happens when you see that, when it comes to day trading, is it's all about pulling and adding the orders to the order book, and that's kind of how I determine price rejection. So, for example, if the market goes from 59 to 65, I want to see how it got there. Did the offers all pull in one sequence? Did the offers just pull from 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it kind of faded its way back down? Or did it actually get bid up to 65? Because that's something different. If it got bid up to 65, it means that it was supported on the way up. You know what I mean? Verlo, did you trade today? Yeah, I traded today, man. Traded the Qs. There was a lot better movement than yesterday. The last 2 days, it was much more tradable than the last 2 days. Significant rejection points multiple times on the daily chart. That's also a little tricky to kind of get it on paper, right? Because one thing that I know to be true is that when a level gets tested a lot, the more it gets tested, the higher the chance it's going to go through it the next time. And this doesn't always apply, but I would say the majority of time it does. And more for short time frames though. Like, yeah. And that's why, like, if I'm looking to play a range, I will always look for the first pullback. Because the second, third, that's a lower probability. There's a higher chance that on the second or third time, if you try and get it at that area, you're going to get run right over. And that's just from my experience of taking range plays. And I guess the opposite would be true if you're trying to go for a breakout. So if you're trying to go for a breakout, normally you're going to want a level that's already been traded a lot of times. You know what I mean? No problem, man. Yeah, that's the lick. I do, especially as the price is slowly pushing to the resistance for the breakout. Yeah, I like that. That's a good nuance, man. I like that. I find that usually large candles pushing through resistance points often results in a false break. You know, it depends. I don't know. Hey, what's happening, man? Do you use any sort of data providers? I don't know what you mean by data providers. Data providers for what? I mean, yeah, everybody who trades uses data providers, right? Because you're being provided with data regarding the stock market. Let it be market data or news data. So I don't know what you mean by data. So I use data providers to get market data. Yeah. Do you have a long-term portfolio? Yeah, I started one actually. I started a long-term portfolio. I don't own any stocks, but I own some real estate trusts. That's it. And I plan to add to them more. But they've been going good, especially since I bought them. They've just been going higher. So the only way I can add to the trade is if I buy more higher, right? Just buy high. Just buy high, sell low. Please don't do that. Just buy high and buy higher. Buy it lower and buy it higher. That's why long-term investing is easy, right? As long as if it's something that is very unlikely to lose value in the long term, that should be an idea of a good investment, you know. I haven't been able to grasp the concepts of scalping properly. I often hold too long and end up turning a winning trade into a losing trade. Should I just avoid it and hold it for longer swings? Yeah, scalping is mentally draining. Scalping is really a hard activity to get a hold of. I do recommend doing it in moderation, you know, learning slowly about it, because, man, there's so many analogies I can give for scalping. But the fundamental thing is that it's so simple, because all you need to do is buy low and sell high, or sell high and buy low, right? But doing it effectively day after day after day, that's the hard part, because the market's never the same 2 days in a row. So you have to, in a way, be on top of the market. You know, you have to be ready for what the market's likely going to show us today, tomorrow, and what the market's showing you now. You know, how are you going to trade the market that you're in right now? So I guess over time you're going to learn certain things about your trading and about what's working and what's not working, when to apply a strategy and when to not apply that strategy. And the only way to do that is by trading the same strategy over and over and over again, literally doing the same thing over and over and over again for months straight. And at that point, you're going to know when not to do it and when to do it. This is the thing, because with trading, especially guys who first get into it, everybody's a victim of this, is that you go from one thing to the next, right? You trade one market, it's good for a while, then you blow your account, and then you give up. Then you go on to something else after that. You change your strategy, you change something, you change your indicators, and you're never going to have any consistency as long as you keep trading shit, you know? I mean, changing shit, that's what I meant. So you really gotta, part of trading, part of scalping, and part of day trading is really just about doing the same thing over and over again and learning when your stuff works and when it doesn't work at all. So yeah. SPG, what's that? Let's see. SPG. Simon Property Group. Simon Property Group. So are these guys real estate trusts? Because it certainly looks like they are. Because they're correlated to the other ones I've got going on. You know what I'm saying? SPG again. I like it. I like it. Trading View has financials. Let's see here. Let's see if we have. Oh, you can plot that on the chart? That's crazy. I didn't know TradingView could do that. Let me get it off my chart now. Yeah, this looks like a real estate trust. I'd probably buy it. I'd buy this. I'd buy the dip on this. What's the dividend like? $1.40 on a $128 stock. So you're looking at, I should say at the bottom, no? 4.5%. Pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. And they pay, let's see here, is it a quarterly dividend? April, May, June, so it's every 2 months they pay a dividend. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that one's on my watch list. I'm adding it to my watch list, guys. Thanks. Add it to the watch list. Can you make a setup? Which futures brokers accept Canadians? I use AMP Futures. They've got some of the lowest costs. There's also a few others. There was a guy named Canadian Futures Trader. He has a YouTube channel, and I saw on his website he made a list of USA brokers that accept Canadian clients. And I think Optimus Futures was there, Gain Capital was there. Sorry, no, GFF Brokers was there. So you got AMP, GFF, and the other one. But I just use AMP. They're great. They're fantastic. Nix GX. Hey, I know you from somewhere, don't I? Can you make a setup tour? I don't know. A setup? What do you mean a setup tour? Like, of what? Oh my god, I see your questions coming in. How do you combat over trading when scalping, especially if you trade something like a bull flag with no clear? I see what you mean. Hold till. I just read your name. Hold till die. Oh goodness, please. I'd rather not. Maybe real estate trusts, I'll hold them till I die, yeah. But not anything else. What do we got here? So I do combat over trading when scalping. You know, that's very hard. That's very hard to do. That's very hard to do. Very hard to do. Maybe I'll give you a better answer if I stop playing guitar. Hold on. Over trading and scalping. Over trading. Well, you know, everyone's a product of this. Everyone who's ever tried to scalp will have over traded at one point in their career. So in order to know how to not overtrade, you need to trade more to learn how to not overtrade. And that's the paradox. But really it comes down to looking for your setup, waiting for your setup basically. So the better you get at trading your one setup or your two setups, the less you're going to overtrade. But also there's certain little tricky nuances, like for example, there could be a trade where you need to try 3 times for it to get it, right? Like there's certain breakout plays that I know some guys take that normally on the first time you won't get it, right? You might get it on the second try because sometimes they need a couple of minutes to get their steam going, right? So you need to give yourself at least a couple of attempts to do that. And if you're going to take a breakout, you need to have very tight risk, so that way you can give yourself multiple attempts of trading the thing, right? Because the reward generally outweighs the risk you're taking, so you can give yourself about 3 tries, not more than that really. I don't think you need more than 3 tries. But I've been in those situations before where I've tried 4 times for the same trade, just for pure ego purposes, right? So like there was this one day where I was trying to trade a breakout on the Russell, and I tried to trade it 4 times, the same friggin' at the same damn price, and I knew I was just chasing it. I knew I was revenge trading it. I just wanted to be, you know, it was pure ego trading. That's pure ego trading, right? So you're not going to get it the first time, you're going to try the second. You didn't get it the second, you're going to try the third. You didn't try it the third, all right, now it's going to be the fourth. The fourth time's the charm. And every single time I was wrong, right? So, you know. There you go, huh? And then on the 5th time it worked, but I wasn't in at that time. Actually, the 4th time it worked, but my price was bad, so I got stopped out on it, and then it went, okay? And that happens a lot in trading. So let's go on here. Have a dividend yield. Do you have some Jigsaw Journalytics stats? Yeah, I do have. I have a lot of Journalytics stats. A lot. What was the riskiest trading decision you ever made? I don't. So Nick, every decision you make has equal risk normally, or within the same ballpark of risk. So a lot of the guys that I talk with, and we do short-term trading, and when you do short-term trading, your risk is controlled, meaning you take a lot of risk but in small amounts. So you're risking 1 to make 2, for example, or you're risking 1 to make 4. Sometimes you can risk 1 to make 1, but again, it depends, right? So there's no like one decision. Like we don't do that kind of stuff. Like a lot of people view trading as these guys make tons of money, they just buy the stock and they make tons of money, right? And you just go all in or something. No, that's totally a myth. Not true at all. Anyhow, not a great question for not a great answer. For me, it was trading options. Yeah, it's really easy to gamble trading options. Absolutely. Office setup in general. I mean, I have a couple of screens in front of me and that's it. Not really much going on here. I worked for my crypto portfolio. Yeah. Yeah, it worked until it doesn't, but who knows, right? Body, please. I believe it's heavily shorted. Let's look at BODY. Fine. The Beachbody Company Incorporated. I like the beach, but this is a horrible looking chart. I mean, okay, so the bulls have a chance here. Here the bulls have a chance. And you know, this reminds you of the same chart as Baba that Kelvin told me to look at before. Look at this. You have what, 6-7 days in a row closing on a lower low. Except this one doesn't have any price history. So basically, daily chart bulls, all they have in their favor right now is this $9 area here, and I can even see it slightly on the volume profile there. Let's just remove the study. Yeah, if you look very closely, you can see that $9 area is kind of like a P-shaped profile, meaning there was demand at higher prices there. They're unfair lows under the $9 area. If we zoom in a little here, 30-minute chart, again, it looks kind of like Baba. Same idea here. So pretty nice move up here today. So you can say 30-minute, let's say 15-minute, 30-minute bears. Yeah, okay, so let's say this is our supply zone right here from $9.39 to $9.51. That's our current supply zone here that you're working with. And you can even see, look at that volume profile. Anyone who bought it up here, they got trapped. So that's a supply zone. This is the area where we got a couple of trap longs in there. So right now, 30-minute chart, we're going down here. This is bear bias on the 30-minute chart, and we're trading into this low volume area as well. Let's take a look here. Again, tricky to do analysis on these types of charts because the volume's all off on the after hours. Let's see if the 15-minute looks better. Okay, that's pretty good. Again, that $9 area here, 908, 897. I think if this is what I would consider somewhat of a demand zone right here. If it loses this, it's probably going to go all the way through back into the previous day's range, all the way down to this 868 area. So that's kind of what I got there for you on the short-term chart. SGOC. Oh, goodness me. Is this another one of those Ross Cameron things? Yeah, bro, this is crazy. What is it up? 400%? I would stay away. Maybe you can try and bid around 10 bucks for a scalp. 10 bucks and 9 bucks. You can try and bid him there. You can try and bid him there. Maybe as low as $8. Under that, stop loss. You don't want to get in that. You don't want to stay in this shit. Just looking at the profile, just get a few areas there. But now look at this thing. It still looks like it's flying up here, 1180. I don't know what the order flow looks like. You know, I would trade it if I was able to see the order flow in the order book and everything that was going on. But just this is called trading blind right now. Nice one, Flimbo. This is if I would trade this using this chart, this is called trading blind right here. I would never trade this without seeing any kind of order book or any kind of tape. Need that DTN data. I hear setups all the time, but I'm not clear what they really mean. What that really means. Hold on a sec. Boy, that's sleepy music. Guys, don't forget to like the stream if you're here right now. So this is actually my third attempt of streaming. My internet cut off twice earlier. So that's enough for me to change internet providers. If any of you guys are in Canada and you use Bell 5, put it in the chat please, because I'm about to switch to them. I'm about to switch to Bell 5 because I need that fiber optic connection. You know what I'm saying? Why did you start trading using weird far-fetched rationals? I don't know what that means, but I'm curious to hear what you mean by that. Vlad, like the trade can stop you out immediately and go in the direction you want. You gotta be brave to re-enter the second time. Yeah, if you know it's, yeah, generally speaking, yeah, for sure. The math will make it for a small stay. Yeah, exactly. So some trades, like we were saying before, some trades you need to try about 3 times for them to get going. And then when they get going in your favor, you gotta let it ride, because it's the type of trade that tends to run, you know. And that's part of knowing your trade, knowing your setups, you know, and knowing how they tend to play out on a regular basis. SGOC, fine, playing it by ear. How do you trade the open with a stop loss since it's so volatile? I don't normally trade right off the open. It depends though. There have been days where there's a setup right off the open. If you're watching the market pre-market, you can get an open. You can get a setup right off of the open. It depends on the market you're trading. NASDAQ, I normally let it play out for at least 10, 20, 30 minutes some days. Like for example, today we were opening in the previous day's range. It's best to just chill out and let it play out a bit, see what kind of price action we're getting. If we're gonna chill out, you know, trading ranges, right? I always look at how the market's actually trading before trading it. So that way I can actually give myself an edge, right? So if I can see that the market is running, you know, because there's only a handful of things that can happen when you get used to looking at a market. And one thing I've noticed is when a market's in a range, right? This is what I see. I'll try and draw it for you. So you have volume here. Okay. Then it moves up. Now when it moves up here, I want to see what it does. Does it come back to where the volume was, or is it staying up here and doing more volume here? Because if it's staying up there and doing more volume there, then that's different than if it were to do just that. Do volume here, move up, come back down. Because if it does this, that's a great pattern for me to bid on the other side. So let's say this is 8 points here. 8 points. So market here, 8 points higher, 8 points lower. I'm bid down here because everybody that bought here is going to have their stop losses here and here. So I'm bidding where their stop losses are, and I'm just getting a trade back into where the middle was. So that's an example of a mean reversion type of trade. Okay, so there's some days that works very, very, very well, and some days that's working all day long. Other days you get this. You get volume, it moves up. Volume, little pullback, and it moves up. Volume, and it moves up. And on those days, if you try and trade like a range, you're going to get burned every time. So that's why it's important to trade the market you're in and not the market you think you're in. Can you explain how to interpret volume and candles to see when bears and bulls are trapped? Yeah, so the way I see it is like this. You can't always identify everything. You can't always identify if there's traders trapped because you're always speculating at the end of the day. But what you can see is where volume took place. Okay. On what was that other chart here? He showed me not SGOC. That's the one we're looking at. Body, yeah. This right here, you can see. Look at these high volume nodes right here. This tells me that there was a lot of trading activity that occurred at these prices. For every buyer, there's a seller, meaning that there are traders that are offside that got trapped in this area. That's all it means. Is that when you see a high volume area, it means that that's an area that did business in the market, that traded business prior. So there's obviously a number of ways that you can interpret it. So like, I just try and keep it simple like this. So I have, let me give a better chart for a better example. Oops. Okay. This is an example of a trending market. It trades volume, it moves up. It trades volume, it moves up. It trades volume, it moves up. So it's important to look at volume relative to what the market is doing. You know, so, and that can give you a good analysis, a good idea of where traders are positioned and where they're likely trapped. And again, it's such a deep topic. It's kind of hard. It gives me a headache to think about it. But like, and you know what? Another thing is like, after a while of doing the same thing so long, it actually becomes hard to explain what you're doing. and that's why I can't always explain things like super well when it comes to like that niche volume profile stuff. But like, basically a high volume node is where you have trading activity that occurred. So that's our volume. Now, what does the market do? It moves up. And now how does it react when it moves up? Does it trade more volume here? Or, like I just told you, does it do volume, come up and test, not really find a lot of volume, and then slowly start coming back in? In that case, that's what you call price rejection. Also, the velocity, that's something I look at a lot. Okay, let's go back to some of these questions here. ASLN. It's one of those pharmaceutical stocks. Nice move up here on the daily chart. Let's look at the 12-hour. Looks a little better. You've definitely seen a spike in the volume here, which is a good thing, normally speaking. I'm trying to find the chart with the most clarity on it. 2 hours is pretty good, actually. Actually, this is pretty nice, 30 minutes. So look at how, for many sessions in a row, it's kind of like, for example, the last 2 days here, last 3 days, okay? 30-minute chart, one time framing down. Little pullback in the afternoon. Next day, little pullback, one time framing down. Bearish. Next day, trading range, trading range, trading range. Now we're starting to one time frame our way up, meaning you're seeing candles closing higher in the same direction. That's called one time framing up, okay? So this is where you start to see the demand pick up. The thing squeezes up, doesn't matter. What was I looking at? Sorry. ASLN. There we go. So what that tells me is that the market's starting to catch a bid slowly here. So this is where it's bid around $3 bucks, $3.15. All right, the next day we see a gap up, huge squeeze up, sold right into. So now we're fading, right? Supplied from this area here, $3.60. So right now on the 15-minute chart, this is bearish. All right, because look at how it's moving. It was supplied here, a little pullback. Traded into the supply zone, rejected it. Came back down, little pullback. Traded into previous supply zone right here, rejected it. Now moving down again. So again, now supplied from here, $3.47. It bearish from there. However, now what I'm going to say here is interesting. It has room. It has a lot of room to go down actually. However, if you start to see the market regain its supply zones and start to bid above it, in that case, you can look for potential reversal. In that case, it can continue this up move the prior day, the next day. All right. So supplied there, supplied here. If it gets back above there, now the shorts are going to be on offside. So you're going to have guys that are offside above here. I would buy it if we start to see the bulls take control of it, hold it here, and I'd have a target right above the high. All right, because that's where they got their stop losses. I don't know if it's going to keep going from there, but I do know that it's likely to test them out at some point. Anyhow, just some ideas of how I would play it, you know. This got 30 cents, nice one, man. You're trading your full-time job or a side gig? It's more of a side gig than anything. It's not my full-time job, that's for sure. Potentially one day, you know, I can make enough money trading S&P and NASDAQ futures. But right now it's more of a side gig than anything, that's for sure. What long short, dude? Are you talking about the SGOC? SGOC. Yeah, see, you said short. I don't know, man. When that's the common mistake that traders make. When the market's going up, you don't look to short it. Because it's not done going up normally. It's not done going up until it's done going up. When it starts going down, then you can short it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, that's a common mistake. Look at it. We're at $16 now. When we were looking at it a few minutes ago, where were we here? 12 bucks, 11 bucks, 13 bucks. Now it popped a little higher. You can't short something that's just going straight up. That's a mistake that traders make. And the same thing goes on the other side. You can't buy something that's going straight down. Unless you're trying to buy for long-term investment, that's a different strategy completely. Far-fetched rationals. I still don't know what he means by that. Do you use pre-recorded background? Do you pay to use InvestView? Do you mean TradingView? In that case, yes, I do. I do have a paid plan on TradingView. I got it for free though. I got it as a gift around Christmas time 2 years ago. That was cool. That was lucky. Do you use a pre-recorded background on your computer screen in your videos? No. I'm recording my screen live when I do my videos. Do you ever use the auction vista chart in Jigsaw, and especially the depth and flip chart features? Yeah, I do use the auction vista. I have used the auction vista, to be clear. I don't use it much these days. It doesn't. The one thing I like about it is the where you get the volume circles. That's pretty cool. That's a good way of identifying liquidity pools pretty quickly. But honestly, I have very limited screen space, so I try to put the information that's most relevant and get rid of the noise. Yeah, so apparently the I changed my I was actually using wireless earlier, but now I switched it to wired, and the internet is staying stable here. This month's gonna have earnings later. I use Videotron. Cool. Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Yeah, I read that. That's a great book. Great book. Talks about attention span, doing logic math stuff, what it takes, optimism, loss aversion, emphasizing a life event such as marriage or a new car can provide a distorted illusion of its true value. Yeah, man. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Sunk cost. Since you're already bag holding, might as well bag hold longer. Yeah, for sure. Do you have a heat map? No, unfortunately, I don't have equities data on Sierra charts or whatever. I wish I did. I can get it probably. What platform are you using to get the equities data, Stefan? Baidu. It looks kind of like the Baba chart, where we're seeing again the 6 days in a row sell-off. Daily chart bearish from there. First day in a row where we're closing higher. Not really much info other than that. See if we can get a volume profile. Visible range is not working on here for some reason. Histogram is too large. Please increase the row input size. Ah, now it works. Okay, I get it. It only works on... I have to change the setting of my volume profile if you like it. Let's look at session profiles. You'd have to zoom out more to see some really price history there. But what I can see here is that this area right here, this is all a single print, it looks like. So this is all area that the price could probably go back and trade in previously, because you can see this time it went straight up through it. So there's probably a hole in the profile right here. So normally what you could see there is the thing could either go straight back down through it, or it's going to stay there and pause and do a lot of trading activity and fill up the volume in that area. That's a larger perspective. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Short term, let's say 30-minute chart here. Bearish on that day completely. A little bit of volume up here around that 183 area, and that's our, I guess you could say that's our current resistance zone. We gapped down yesterday, trading range all day. Today gapped up. I think these stocks gap up a lot, gap up and down. It's kind of like Baba does the same thing, because I think it trades, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of these stocks trade in the China market as well. So they, yeah. So they trade there, and then we get a gap overnight all the time. So you got a bit of support down here around the 175. There's a bit of a liquidity pool there. You could say 175 up to about 176 and a half, give or take. That's sort of the area I can identify. In terms of today, looks like we're pretty bullish here. But again, lack of price history here. So where we actually are is we're between our two zones. So you had this area up here, potentially trap longs, trying to buy the dip. Then it gaps down. Then you have a lot of accumulation here. Someone's buying it. Traders, right? Agreeing on price down here. And then today it gaps and we're in the middle now. So now we're in the middle. So what you can expect, generally speaking, is a trading range here to fill up some of this volume. Other than that, can't give you much info there. Do you have a heat map? Yeah, exciting to watch. What are important things to look for on the tape? Depends what you're trading. DX feed, NASDAQ data, full book. Nice, man. That's just expensive. Wish I had it. Hold till I die. I had a video on a tape reading lesson, but you know, I could do a whole friggin' course on tape reading, man. There's just like so many nuances about it. And every setup has its own nuance too. And the tape doesn't stay the same either. It changes all the time. Depending on the kind of volume you're getting, right? So that's part of the tape. The pace of the tape, how much volume's coming in. That's big. Last 2 days, NASDAQ, crazy amount of volume. Not enough liquidity to keep up with the amount of volume coming in. So you get a lot of crazy movements. It's not tradable. Today, less volume, liquidity probably the same. The market's moving less. It's more tradable. Okay? Little nuances. Important. Important for trading, important for scalping. Very, very, very important. Do you use the hot buttons on Interactive Brokers? Yeah. Kinda, yeah. I kinda use them. Mortal Kombat. Fatality by Liu Kang. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's a cool game, man. How much money did you make today? None. I don't know. It depends on what you're considering, what you're counting. If you're counting trading, none, because I didn't trade real money today. See, demo maybe demo money. I was just about flat in the demo account. But I had some good trading though. Trading's tough, man. What is the most important thing to you look for in the market when price is moving 7 to 10 ranges? Well, that's what I look for. If the market is moving that much, it's like what I explained to you before. Depends on the type of day we're getting, and that's what I noticed is that when you're getting somewhat of an inside day, or a day where the market's opening in the prior day range, normally you're going to see some rotations. You're going to see a lot of two-way business, meaning the market's going to it's going to be doing that thing where it trades and it pauses and moves, pauses and moves, it pauses and moves, and when it does that, that's a really good environment for scalping ranges. So my range play strategies work really well in that environment. But if you get an environment like yesterday, or 2 days ago, for example, as well, because that was actually 2 days ago wasn't as bad because the market was just biasing downwards, but I'm saying mainly yesterday, though the ranges were very wide and there wasn't a lot of overall clarity. As you can see, a lot of price discovery. Look at these ranges here on the NQ. NQ was moving way too much yesterday to get a handle on it, so I started trading ES with the same idea, and the same idea works really well on ES for me when it's moving at least 8 ticks though. Can't trade it if it's moving less than that because the risk to reward doesn't make as much sense. So maybe I don't know if I explained it super well, but yeah. Let's find like a heavy track. Let's find a heavy track here. This one's pretty heavy. Need to get in that electric guitar. Trading is tough, especially controlling your emotions and thoughts. I did 5% profit today, sold early, could have held at 10 if I held instead of being happy and a little pissed. Nah, man, you know, don't think about it like that. Think about it in terms of if you followed your plan or not. Don't think of it as, oh, I made 5, I could have made 10. Because you can't know that. You can't know the future. Nobody knows the future. All you know is your plan. You know how much you're risking. You know what the potential reward is. So, you know, write down what your plan was. Hopefully before you entered the trade, you knew what your plan was. And if you followed it, great trade. If it worked, great trade. If it didn't work, it's an expense and you can learn from it. But that's a common new mistake, guys. It's FOMO, right? You get out of the trade and you're like, oh, I wish I held it. Well, was it part of your plan to hold it or wasn't it? You know what I'm saying? track stops. These are too short, these tracks. They are too short. They're like a minute and a half each. Let's find one that's a little longer. How about this one? Oh no, that's a common one. How about this one? Oh, that's pretty cool. I like those chords. Dun. Ooh. I can't figure out that third chord, that second last chord. No idea there. Do you think it will become a profitable trader? I mean, I don't know what you really mean by that. Like, do you mean like make a shit ton of cash trading, or make enough money to survive trading? I don't really know what you mean, like, because being profitable and staying profitable are not the same thing. I have been profitable before. Have I stayed profitable? No. Not long enough to keep what I made. So, do I plan to stay do I think I will stay profitable? I don't know if I'll stay profitable. What I can do is work every day to get better. You know? As long as you're putting in more time than the average trader, as long as you're adapting your methods and learning more about your setups, then I believe you're one step ahead of the average trader, because the average trader doesn't really zoom into their setups on a really deep level and understand, you know, why it's working, why it's not working, because that's important, you know? It's actually a hard track to solo on. I gotta work on this one. I'm gonna add it to my favorites. Volume profile indicator using is the premium one? No. No, it's on TradingView. I think you just need any paid plan on TradingView, and you can use a volume profile. I think you just, yeah, whatever, any paid plan, it'll work. Guys, give me suggestions of what to do on stream, because I don't know what to do. I know it's a Friday afternoon and I'm not expecting too much to happen here. Honestly, trying to find some good beats for the stream. I can't really find them. That's pretty cool. No, I haven't tried NinjaTrader. I know some guys who have, though. I think Vlad has tried it. Maybe a cleaner guitar would sound good. to make a lot of money. That's why you're here, no? I mean, yeah, I would say so. But I feel like if you're trading for the money, I don't know. But why do you trade? You trade for the profit, you know? But the thing is, you need to put on risk in order to make the profit. So I view it as risk activity, you know? When I'm trying to leverage my cash, I'll trade, but the only way you can make a lot of money is by risking a lot of money. So like, you know, if you want to be making $1,000, $2,000 a day, I need to be risking about that much as well. But I need to have a pretty high risk tolerance to make that kind of profit, you know. And I don't have that high of a risk tolerance right now. Mainly because I haven't had necessarily as much, you know, I haven't had, you know, consistent results over a number of days, weeks, to the point where I can say, all right, I'm ready to add more cash to my trading. And I guess that's the advantage of trading small, because guys who come into trading with a lot of money, I don't know, man, they're gonna get a bit of a wake-up call. Well, they normally get a wake-up call. I got a wake-up call when I started trading. So like trading small for a while is really good. I think it's really good. But I mean, as long as you're improving, right? So like this week, I could say I definitely improved a lot. I learned a couple of things this week. I became aware of a couple of things this week that I would say are game-changing lessons for me that I will use in the future to be one step ahead of the average trader, you know? So as long as you're improving yourself, as long as you're finding things out about what you're doing, as long as you're learning more about what you're doing, and that it's helping you to improve it. But yeah, ideally the thing is to, you know your method well enough that you can start sizing up, you know, and increasing your risk tolerance there. Increasing that risk tolerance. Because, you know, you see guys posting big profits, but they're taking big risks to put on the big profits. So down the line I will. Down the line I will. But again, at least I'm starting to learn. Like, for example, for this week, I'm really learning about what it takes for me to properly trade NQ. And again, I've traded for over a year, but it's just about coming up with clear-cut rules for yourself that say, you know, when this is happening, I don't trade it. Like the last 2 days. So my new rule is, when I see NQ whipping around 10 points at a time, I move and trade ES instead. Because if NQ is whipping around 10 points on average I'm saying, 10, 12 points on average, I don't trade that environment. That for me is too much. So this is the rule. If it's going across my screen and I can't follow it, then I don't trade it. Then I don't trade it at all. Might as well trade ES, right? Because if NQ is moving 10 points, ES is moving at least 8 to 10 ticks at a time. You know what I'm saying? The ideal, so again, figuring out the ideal environment for your trading method. So you might have a certain method. I might be, you know, I'm very comfortable with range plays, with playing the standard deviations, playing the volatility ranges, basically. I'm very comfortable with that. But that only works when the market is doing a specific thing. And that's what I'm learning, right? So now that I'm learning that, I'm learning to understand my setup on a deeper level than the average trader. I can leverage more capital when the time is right, and not trade it when the time is wrong, or move to another market when that market is not showing me the right thing. You know what I mean? Discipline and some mathematics, that's the key. Yeah, definitely discipline. Yeah, there's a way to adjust stop. Absolutely, yeah. Like, you could still trade NQ when it's fucking trading 12 points at a time, but again, the way I have my screen set up, it would be way off the fucking screen, you know? When NQ is moving 10, 12 points, you can't even follow it on your screen. You can't even see where the liquidity is trading. You can't see anything because it's moving too much. So in that case, just trade ES. I like ES when it's moving around 7, 8 ticks at a time. Not when it's moving 3, 4 ticks. That's not enough. Good evening, Core. You can risk, say, 600 to make 2 to 4 times more. Yeah. Exactly. Like on a range play, the risk is very small. Like if you're playing ranges on a session, the risk on NQ is normally not more than 2, 3 points. Not more than that. 2, 3 points. If the market's moving 7, 8 points around, your risk on the trade is not more than 3 points. If it's over your trade by 3 points, if it's bid against you by 3 points, you scratch. Because that's how the trade works. That's how my trade works. And the reward is about 7 points. Again, because it depends on how much the market's moving. And sometimes, depending on how many contracts you get filled on at your area, you can let one ride to the other end of the range completely. And that's when you start getting a runner going. And that's when you can really start to compound your shit going. Compound your profits. That's what I meant. Yeah. Bet more, as Greg Reba would say. OIS. Let's look at it. OIS. What time are we here? 2:30? Oh, we're so early, guys. Actually, I need these. Let's look at the daily chart here. Pretty, I mean, it's pretty nice, I would say. I mean, you have this big area here on the daily chart. Probably act as some temporary support. This whole area here, kind of balanced area, probably see more trading. So let's just like kind of be serious with this. Okay, so there we go. We have a demand zone, I guess, right here. $6.30. Moved up. Supplied it there, regained it. That's a pivot right here. This is a pivot, 745. Moved up, and when it stopped moving up, it was right here, 826. Supplied from 826. Key pivot right here, 745. Low volume area right here. That's what I got for you in the daily chart there. So the daily chart is demanded from here, supplied from here. 30-minute chart. Let's see what we got going on. Kind of thin volume. That's a pivot on the 30-minute chart, 712. You can also go as low as $6.98, about $7, if you want to say, as well as here. Actually, it's right here. That's the 30-minute supply zone right here. 30-minute supply zone from the past 2 days, $7.20 to $7.12. Okay, look at how today we just held right above it. So that's pretty bullish, I would say. This is bullish. Above here, it's bullish, because that was our 2-day supply zone right here. If it stays above here, stay long, I would say. Look to take profit in there. If it gets back under there, probably it's going to go back down to $7. Okay. What else did you have? Let's see. I wish NQ could be traded during the weekend. Oh man, honestly, I do not wish it could be traded during the weekend, but maybe. Futures is moving too fast for us. You mean like the market's too fast for humans? Is that what you meant, Robert? CRK. It looks the same as the other chart. Except the clarity, well, 30-minute demand here. Oops. Right around there, $6.10, 30-minute demand. Interesting. Above $6.30 again. Look at how it's just trading here, holding it like that. 631, 639 above this area, stay long. Below it, probably short it. Low volume area here, and again, it really takes, again, I'm doing a very kind of rough analysis here, and I don't really have like necessarily all of the, because it does take time to do the analysis, right? You have to do the daily chart, then you zoom in a little, look at each time frame, try to get a picture overall of what traders are seeing, you know, where the market perceived fair value and all that stuff. What trading platform is this? This is TradingView. It's a charting platform, not a trading platform. Although you can chart, you can trade from it. They have a DOM, see? It tells you that the bid is 38 and the offer is 39. You can log into your broker. So it is a trading platform, but I wouldn't trade on it. Anyone make any good plays today? Decent amount of opportunities this morning. SPY came through. Yeah, there was some good opportunities. I agree, Fred. It will move stop to break even once the target reaches. If a trader tells me he 2 times his money all the time, I won't take him seriously. That's pretty subjective, because often what happens is traders go through streaks, right? You could be doing well for a while because you're reading the market right, everything's going good, your setups are working. So in that time, you know, you could totally be doubling your money, you could be tripling your money, quadrupling it. But will that last? That's the thing. Will that trader be able to keep those profits through the time that the market is not as good as it was before? You know? Are you basing most of your NQ trades on the 1 minute chart? No. Certainly not. I don't look at 1 minute charts. I used to in the past. The lowest I'll go is 5. When 15 and 30 look really choppy, I'll look at 5 and 10. That's the lowest I go. But I don't trade based on that. I don't trade based on the chart. You gotta know that. I can still execute slower market on DOM, but ideally it would be chart. That's why I'm getting it now. Yeah. Trading only SPY CFDs with wide stop. And for the moment it works fine. Less trades, less stress. Nice, man. Is it for the viewers very busy on your chart? I don't know. SPY CFDs, what is that? European CFD. What about CLOV? Let's see. CLOV. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Well, I mean, the daily chart is very bearish. Very bearish on the daily chart. It is one time framing down, meaning every day closing lower than the next. Or actually, what it actually means is every day not closing higher than the next and moving down consistently. That's what one time framing is. So, you know, $30-minute chart, not much to work with here. Let's see, boom, boom. That's pretty decent. 15. you had this going on. You had that move start at 926. So you could say $9, $9 all the way down to about 920. It's a bit of a demand zone. A bit of a demand zone. You can see how it was just consolidated there for a while, held the bid, shot it up, supplied it from here, $9.50. This is also a pivot here, kind of in the middle of the two. $9.40. I guess you could call this is like where the crowded range is. This is where everybody's kind of long and short in the crowded range. The majority of volume took place here. If I was a market maker, I would have been buying it here. I would have been selling it up here. This is our supply zone. 955, 962, right? Right now, 926. If it can get back above it, it has a chance to get back to 940. Let's look at the 5 minute. Not really clear. If it can get back above the 925 area and continue doing what it's doing here, slowly going up, slowly going up, slowly, then it's probably gonna keep going up. But if it trades up here, boom, and then it starts fading again, forget it. It's going to zero. Well, not going to zero, but what I mean is there's no prior there's nothing gonna hold it down there until maybe about $8, 780. So yeah, if you're long that long term, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it long term. Clove is a pump and dump. What can you say about WI Pro? Is it a good long term or not? Again, I don't do fundamental analysis, so all the analysis I'm gonna tell you here is only gonna be technical. WI Pro. This kind of reminds me of the real estate trusts a bit. Pretty strong in this case. Technology, information technology company. So it's a tech company. So tech company to the moon, right? So the daily chart was going up until here. So that's a key daily pivot for the daily chart in order for it to really gain any momentum above that. But right now you can see the momentum is down, right? Every day closing lower than the next, meaning that it's going down, meaning that don't buy it if it's going down on a short-term basis. That's what I mean. Okay, if it's a long-term investment, that's something different. Demand zone I can see here, 488 first one, as well as around the 500 zone. Any price history there, maybe here, 452. So if you wanted to buy this long term, these are the areas I would buy it long term. I would have a bid. If you wanted to be more aggressive, I would have a bid here, right where this high volume node is. I would have a bid here at 500 range. I would have a bid here, 488. I would have a bid here, 470, and I would have a bid here, 450 zone. If you wanted to be smart, you probably would want to keep a lot of capital to bid it more in the lower range than in the upper range. Like, that's a strategy I would use if I wanted to buy a stock and hold it forever type of thing. AKA just buy more, right? Buy more, buy more, buy more. But right now it looks like it's not ready. It's not done going down at this point on the daily chart. So that's a daily chart. I don't think if this is a long-term investment, you don't need to go any shorter term than that. But if you do want to, there's your 30-minute supply zone right there. 15-minute demand zone. So supply zone, demand zone, trading in the middle. Previous day value acting as resistance, right? If it gets back above previous day value and holds it, probably see a short squeeze type of thing, probably start reversing. At that point, it means that the momentum is likely shifting in the other direction. One thing I look for a lot in trading is when I see a pattern and then the pattern stops. Again, a big mistake traders make is they try to go against what the market's doing. for no particular reason, just for ego trading. They want to buy it because they want to buy it, but it's going down. Why are you buying it if it's going down? If it's for fundamental reasons, that's a good reason, right? It's a different reason. But if you're trying to trade on technicals and it's going down and you're trying to buy it, you're doing nothing other than fighting against the market, from my experience. CFD, aka you're betting against the broker. Do more guitar, yeah, maybe. Is it not green on Friday and you shouldn't touch it? And it's not green on Friday. Flat. Yeah, that's a myth. That's a joke in the stock market that Fridays everything is green on Friday. Normally, right? Do you prefer to trade in high volume areas or low participation areas? It depends. It really depends. Depends on the setup. Depends on the context. Because that's relating to the context, right? When you're talking about high volume areas, low volume areas, it relates to the context of the market. You paying for TradingView? Yes. Can you explain why the candle is green for ticker MU on May 11th? I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, so I couldn't really tell you, but this bar, you mean? Well, all it means is that the range was here and it closed at the high of the day. So the range was, that was a daily range. It opened down here. So the market gapped down and it opened down here. And then on the close of the session, it closed up there. It closed at the high of the bar, the high of the day. That's all it means. It means that they bought the dip. There's a session. Open lower. Gap downs are for buying it. I've seen that happen a lot. But it closed below the last day's close, yeah. A bit of a daily demand zone there. Why would the candle be? No, well, it depends on how you have your candles set up, because the way a traditional candlestick is made to be displayed is that the open is first, and if it closes higher than it opened, it's going to show a green bar, or a white bar in this case, because I have it set to white. If it opens and closes lower than it opened, then it's going to show a red bar. So for the sake of this day right here, the market opened lower and closed higher. That's why it's showing a green bar. Here's your demand. Holding the daily demand zone. Look at that, to the tick, that 30-minute demand zone. And I know I put it there after, so it's like hindsight's a bitch, right? But look at that, look at that. I always use these levels. I always put my levels where the one-time framing ends. So when I see a one-time framing like this, one-time framing down, one-time framing down, one-time framing down, one-time framing down. The first time I see a bar close above the high of the next one, the one-time framing ends. That's where I put my line. Boom. Demand zone. Where did it trade? Right to that price. I always see that. It's crazy. So that's why I find these are pretty good areas to give yourself some context, right? And look, it undershot it by what, a couple of cents there. But just to be saying, just to give yourself a good area, it's a good area, okay? Area to do business. I'm playing a credit spread on MU. Nice, man. Keep your risk managed. Oh. Is that an all-time high? Oh my gosh, yeah. S&P 500 is at all-time highs right now, guys. Mainly being helped by the Russell. The Russell's catching a rally. That's the daily zone. That's the 2-hour zone. Look at that 2-hour chart on the Russell. Again, great. Just great one-time framing, straight up. We're kind of into a supply zone though. Let's see. Not really. I mean, just a little, but not really. Yeah, you could say 265. 265 is a bit of a supply zone there, 2-hour chart. If you go 30-minute, look at that. 30-minute chart ticked it. Bottom tick of that bar went up. Big low volume area here. So I mean, 274. That's the next 30-minute supply zone here on the Russell. Above that, it's probably just gonna go into the low. If it really starts just building value above here, it's probably just gonna continue going and trade through this area. But it could get caught up here as well. Could trade a bit, get caught up, and then start fading. Anyhow, but look at the chart. It's just straight up. Don't fade that. Do never fade the market when it's doing that. Or learn the hard way. I think market realized it doesn't like going down anymore. It's not normal, man. It just feels weird. I don't know. Feels weird to have a stock market of just freaking ripping highs all the time. I don't know. Because you get that kind of environment that's like, it's like this basically. Look at the ES. Look at what the ES does. Look at what the S&P 500 does. Historically, it's known for this. Look. It grinds and it grinds and it grinds and it grinds. And in 2 days, it gives back profits of the last 2 weeks. Look at this. It grinds and it grinds and it grinds and it grinds. Look, in 2-3 days, boom. It gives back a month worth of up days grinding. And obviously this one was more of an outlier event because really, it really went for it that time. It really went for it that time, right? But like, look at that. Look here, it grinds and it grinds and it grinds and it grinds and it grinds, grinds. And then, oh, finally, all right, no one left to buy it. All right, let's pull all the bids, pull all the liquidity. Boom. It drops fucking 200 points, 250 points in a matter of two days or whatever. And then it chops. And this is good. See, like, I like this when it's doing this. When it's in a larger range and it's just chopping like this, I like this. Because there's normally a lot of intraday opportunity when it's kind of in a trading range. And then you get this again, grinding. Look at the range of these bars here. August 2020, so small, grinding. No volatility for a month straight, a month and a half. And then one day, wake up. All right, Jerome, time to smoke a cigar and dump the markets. Boom, 3 days. They dumped the whole fucking thing. And then we start to see volatility come back. So this is the pattern we've been seeing for so long in the market. It's just crazy, and it's always the same thing. It grinds, it grinds, it grinds, and grinds and grinds till nobody thinks it can go higher. They keep selling it, and that's why it keeps going up. It keeps going up. It keeps going up. And then when they finally all get squeezed out of their shorts, boom, they drop everything. And here we are again, all-time highs. You can't fight it, guys. Don't fight the markets, man. I used to fight it. When I started trading, I did the thing. I was trying to buy puts and all that shit. I lost a couple of $1,000 and I gave up. I was like, fuck this shit. Fuck that shit. It doesn't feel natural. Yeah, it really doesn't feel natural. It feels like the market's on drugs. That's what I was saying. That's what I always say. It feels like the market is being fucking injected with liquidity. Propping it up, living in an alternative reality. They rinse and repeat every new high. Yeah, CNBC got happy as smiling trader picture today. Yeah, they show the picture of the happy guy. Stocks are up today. That's it. That's what we got. That's what we got, guys. All it takes is Brian Watt to say there's an 80% chance of we're going up. And they drop it on 20% alternative plan. Yeah, basically, yeah. It's, well, you know, it's not always the opposite of what you think. It's just that nobody can predict it. And people just need to deal with that, you know? All you can do is give yourself, you know, decent areas to watch it and to do business, to take trades off of. But in the long run, you don't know what the hell is going to happen, you know? Everybody's so conditioned that stocks go up. It's true, stocks go up. But that statistic only comes from the fact that they have been going up forever. It doesn't mean that they're going to keep going up forever. You know what I mean? So, like, past performance are not indicative of future results. So, like, I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's fair to say stocks go up, so buy stocks for the long run. But, like, I feel like that's a mentality that's... You can't have that mentality. Stocks go up, buy stocks because stocks go up. I don't know, man. How do you know stocks are going to keep going up forever? In our lifetime, they're gonna stop going up at some point. And when they stop going up, I thought stocks all only went up. Holy shit! The S&P dropped 2,000 points. Stocks go up. Stocks go up. But when they stop going up, boy, do they stop going up. That should be it. And when they pull the rug, holy shit, it's untradeable. You can't trade NASDAQ when they pull the rug on it, man. It's not even normal the way it trades. It does this. Oops. When it starts, normally, a normal day, you get this. Volume, go down, test, volume, go up, volume, go down, come back, volume, trade up. Normal distributions of volume. Beautiful trading ranges. That's a beautiful condition to be trading in. But when NASDAQ crashes, this is what you get. You get this. Boom. And then you get boom. And then you get chop, 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 chop. Boom. Lower low. Probably a bad example, but it just... basically, NASDAQ is untradeable when the volatility increases, like it did on Monday, not Monday, the last 2 days that we saw, not today, last 2 days. NASDAQ becomes untradeable because there's not enough liquidity to match the volume being traded. So that's the story. That is the story. That is the story, my friends. But honestly, like we were saying before, it really feels like this market's on drugs, and it feels like the NASDAQ could drop, you know, thousands of points and everything would still be normal, in my opinion. Like, I think that the NASDAQ could drop to about, let's be realistic here. I think it could drop about 5,000 points. No, that's a little too much. I think it could drop about 3,000 points very healthily right now. Healthily drop about 3,000 points. But look at where we are right now. But I don't care about that. I'm a day trader. I'm a scalper. I don't care about what the market does in the long term. But I'm just saying, if you do zoom out and you look at what the market has been doing for the last 12 years, honestly, if the Nasdaq dropped 6,000 points, it wouldn't be that much. It really wouldn't be that much. But I don't know shit. I'm not an economist. I'm not a fundamentalist. I don't know shit. So don't listen to a guy on YouTube. Please do not listen to anybody on YouTube. Could you look at DD? Yes, I could. DD. Oh, this is a new one, eh? This is an IPO or something? Oh, goodness. Alright, well, daily chart is pretty useless. I mean, look. You have one day, it opens up here. Big trading range. $14 to $18 trading range. Big trading range. 2 inside days. And then it gaps down to $12. Like, that's some bullshit right there. That's just like some garbage. That's like pure manipulation. You shouldn't be trading stocks that do that. That fucking gap down that much. Because it's whoever, whatever happens, whatever goes. That's purely news related anyways. So where we are right now here, let's look at this disaster here. What these 30-minute bars say is that there's a bit of supply around $12.50 there. $12.47. That's sort of a supply zone or resistance, give or take. All right, now as we go down, let's see here. Let's see what this market did. This was sort of an inside day trading range, nothing good. Special gap down here. Nothing really going on here. It started to bid. Boom, right there. That's where the one-time framing started from. Look at this. From this session right here. I didn't even look at this day yet, by the way. I looked right here. Boom. As soon as the one-time framing stopped going down, as soon as we saw it close higher on the 30-minute chart, that's where I marked the demand zone. I'm just showing you guys how I mark demand zones. Boom, it starts going. We see a lower low. Hold it. Next day, look at how it traded through that range. Pretty close to that zone. Anyhow, I'm going a little too off topic. I need to get more on top of my shit. Okay, here we go. $12. I don't really like $12. Right now it's okay. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place, eh? So that was the first demand zone. Second demand zone, 1120. It's kinda. Here we go. Today's 15-minute demand zone right there. Now let me take a look here. 15-minute supply zone. We're above that now. Look at where it paused. Interesting how that works, eh? Look at that. I put the 15-minute supply zone right there. Look at these bars right here. Look at where the upper wicks are. And now we're above that though. But in the moment, that would have been a good area to scalp it from. If you want to scalp a trading range there, that's what I look for range plays. I want to give myself a good area contextually, take some scalps off of it, and trade it until it stops working. And when it stops working, well, obviously there it goes for a breakout. You don't want to be holding a trade. Obviously, it's just for scalps. So I would say it's bullish right now. It's bullish right now. It's bullish. 30-minute, 50-minute chart going up here. From 1195, it's bullish. It is bullish right now. Let's short it for 2 points. All I need is volatility. UVXY down 10%. It's paid. Don't want to be a bear. How do I know they won't pump at 20 points more? Yeah, that's the thing you don't know. When the ES is at all-time highs, don't fucking start getting involved in the short side unless it's just for a scalp. Unless you're fading against late buyers. Like, you need to have a good setup, you know? If you have a good setup where you're fading against late buyers, or you're playing on the velocity, you're trying, you know, you get in on a sweep or something, you scalp it for 4 or 5 ticks, there you can do it. You can short it because there's going to be guys trying to buy this here at all-time highs, just like buy it for no reason. So depending on the context, you could kind of, you can get away with shorting it, but you don't want to, since the market's going up all day like this, you don't want to be staying in a trade like that. That's the mistake traders will make, is they will get into a trade like that, then they stay in it. But the market's trending up. You can't be staying in a trade short on when the market's going up. You can't do that. So, common sense. No problem. Timo. Who want to trade MCL on Monday? Yeah, we're gonna check it out, man. Curious to see what the liquidity is gonna look like. Any of you guys gonna trade it? Any of you guys gonna look at it? Let's go look on AMP's website. See if they put it on their website there. AMP futures margins. AMP futures margins, baby. Stock index, currencies, energies, micro crude oil, baby. Here we go. Maintenance. $132 day trade margin for micro crude oil. That's pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable for a $1 a tick. And I think this is going to definitely attract some retail traders, me included. So there you go. There you have it, guys. AMP futures, commissions. Let's see if they added it here as well. Energies. E-mini. Here we go. 57 cents per side. So you're talking about, yeah, that's a little high. Let's see. That's quite high. That's quite high. They're making a lot of money on their commissions there. Look at that. That's quite high, man. Because look, $1.14 round turn. One tick is $1 in MCL. And so if you take a 1 tick scratch or a 1 cent scratch, you're going to be down 14 cents. Whereas if you take a break even, you're going to be down $1.14 if you take a break even. So that's not good if you're trying to scalp. Let's see here. If you're trading CL, these are more reasonable here. $2 a side, $4 round turn. If you take a 1 tick, you're going to be up $6 profit, or $5.90 something, whatever. If you take a 1 tick profit on CL. If you take a break even, you're going to be down only $4. And that's these commissions are CQG if you use CQG or Rhythmic. Let's see. Let's see if they lower it if you do the flat rate commissions. Oh, never mind. They're even higher. Sorry guys, they're even higher than what I was saying to you guys. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They're higher than what I was saying. 67 cents a side for the micro crude oil futures MCL. I don't know. 69 cents a side. Yeah, so for me it'll be 69 cents a side because I'm a small volume trader. For Fat Finger guy, it's going to be 67 if you trade with AMP futures. So I'm just trying to do the math here, guys. It's kind of high commissions. Long 2 NQs on demo here, stop 12. Your stop's 812. That's kind of tight. I'm gonna die if I trade the real account, yeah. Probably. Ramses, are backtesting results valid? To a certain degree, yes. I would say to a certain degree they are valid. But what I could tell you is that in regards to backtesting,
trying to how do I explain this? How do I explain this? I'm just fucking tired, I guess. I'm not gonna stream much longer. Maybe about a few more minutes. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, backtesting is valid to a certain degree. But like, what I'm trying to say is, you can't backtest a strategy because there's not one strategy that works every single day. You know, so you could backtest a breakout strategy, for example. But if you put it on every single day, you're not really getting the best out of it, because an advantage of being a discretionary trader is knowing when you should be favoring the breakout strategy versus when you should be favoring something else, like a range play. So you would get a better idea of if your strategy is working if you were able to backtest it on days where it was more favorable to be working. So like you know, you can give it more data points. Like, so for example, let's say you backtested a breakout strategy, a breakout play, or a gap jump, or whatever you want to call it, some kind of breakout idea. Let's say you backtested it only on days where the market is opening outside of the prior day's range. There's a chance that you will get a higher win rate on those days trading a breakout idea than you would on days where the market opens up inside the previous day's range. Just an idea, just a nuance, right? So it's just a way that you could change your backtesting, because for example, you can backtest a strategy over every single day, but you're going to get very mixed results because you're not selecting the strategy that might be appropriate for every type of session or type of market that you're in, you know? So I really think strategy selection is a big thing in trading. And that's kind of what I've learned, what I've been really working on, especially this week. What I've realized is, you know, you could have a great method. You could work a lot on a great method, but it's not great until you know where it falls short as well. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Tony Montana? So I know where my range plays fall short. It's when the market is fucking crazy and it's whipping around 10 handles. Five-minute chart's pretty good here on NQ. Look at that 5-minute chart. Look at that 5-minute chart. I would say it's still pretty bullish. Vlad, you said you were long on the Qs. I mean, I would say it's not a bad trade. Let's see. 1675 average. Stop on break even. It's a little hard to say. I think it could easily come back down and trade the 06. Again, I'm not looking at the order flow at all, so I don't really know what the hell's going on. I'm just looking at this chart, which is not very valuable information. Yeah, I think it could easily just keep grinding. Look at the 15-minute chart. Probably grind its way up. What's this? Anyhow. Let me get some water, guys, or some orange juice or something. 1 second. Got some of that orange juice.
Holy crap. Oh. And as soon as I was sure that the internet cut off right there. I was almost sure that my internet almost cut off there. Alright guys, well I think I'm gonna go enjoy my Friday. Actually, I think I could play some guitar for a minute. That's an Egyptian melody, it's cool. Let's go. What's happening, Ramen, bro? We need Scott Henderson on the stream. Probably I learned that like 10 years ago. To put on some track. No, the dollar's crashing. 15-minute time frame. Yeah, Tadpole, we started playing a bit. My friends do some weekly jams. We started playing. Actually, we played at the shopping mall the other day, last weekend. My friend, well, we got the gig at the shopping mall, at the big shopping mall here, which is pretty cool. It's not in the shopping mall. It's in the shopping mall, but it's like in this food court. It's like really fancy food court. It's pretty cool. I should just title the stream, I don't know, ES all-time high or something. And it's gonna get more views. Yeah, look at the dollar. When the dollar's crashing like this, it means stock market is euphoria. Not necessarily. Actually, that doesn't mean that at all. All it means is that the dollar is consolidating. Let's play this guitar. We're gonna do the showcase of different instruments. Hey, what's going on? So this guitar, this is actually my first guitar ever. I got it when I was 10 years old, so it'd be 17 years ago now. And hold up, it's a Flying V Dean. You can tell I was into heavy metal. This guitar, actually, I changed all the hardware on it. It used to have different colored everything. I changed everything to black. Changed the pickups to these really hot Seymour Duncan pickups, and also put on a kill switch on it. It sounds like this, the kill switch. There was that song by Buckethead. total gimmick, but whatever. It's pretty cool. Anyways, the pickups on this one sound really hot. And I had this one professionally set up by the best Yule luthier in the city here. So it's a $300 guitar that plays like a $3 million guitar. As you can hear, it sounds freaking good too. See if I can play some fingerstyle. Pretty hot. NQ's still ripping it, ain't he? Oh no. I guess it took out your stop, no? Yo, what's the full price of Jigsaw annually? Have you tried Bookmap, and what would you recommend? The full price of Jigsaw, well, you gotta pay once to buy the software. Once you have the software, you own it forever. And then in order to trade from the platform, there's a $50 execution fee a month. And that fee also includes journaling software, Journaltics, in which, in my opinion, that 50 on its own is justified by the journaling software. It's really good. It's an amazing journaling software. It allows you to, well, it basically records every single one of your trades on futures. I don't know if it works for stocks. I haven't tried it, but it's a great way to see your performance, you know. And so, in my opinion, that $50 a month thing is justified. Is justified in that regard. And also, if you're a scalper, a quick trader, there's a certain feature on Jigsaw's platform that no other platform has, and I don't know why no other platform has this, but it's the feature of clicking on the price to move your orders. And I talked about this in 1,000 other videos. You guys probably heard me already say it, but that feature for me is it's so good and it's so fast to get in the queue. And I'll explain it to you very briefly here using a demo account. But that's how much it costs. It's $50 a month. So for example, let's say, I don't know, let's say I buy ES, okay? Let's say I buy ES here at 61. I get in the queue at 61. Am I gonna get filled? Probably not. Okay, I'm gonna get in the queue at 61.
and you're gonna see how fast I'm gonna get in the queue at 61 and a quarter to sell it. Okay, if I get filled at 61, which I probably won't. But basically, it's all I need to do is click on the price to move my existing orders. So I'm clicking 1,000 times there. Okay, let's bid at 61 and a quarter. Watch. Fill me at 61 and a quarter. And I'm not getting filled. Now we're at 61 half. By that time, it's gonna run me over. I know that, because I'm way late in the queue. The thing about ES in the slow market, I would never trade ES in this condition, because you don't have enough orders moving the market. By the time I get filled here, I'm gonna get run over. Watch, if I even get filled. Okay, watch, filled, boom. Move my order break even right away, boom, filled on a break even. You see that? I had a limit order to take profit and a limit stop and a stop order as well. And to move either one of them, all I need to do is click. If I click above my entry, it's gonna move my limit target if I'm long. If I'm short, it's gonna move the stop. You know what I mean? So just one click, move your order, man. That's the best thing ever. I don't understand why not every platform has that. That is the most overpowered feature for scalping, that is. So what's it running you a year 600 plus? So if you don't trade on the month, you don't have to pay the 50, right? You pay it if you're trading. And also, if you don't execute on Jigsaw's platform, some guys do that. They don't execute on Jigsaw. They just use the Jigsaw tool to look at the order flow and whatnot. Then you don't have to pay it at all. You don't pay it at all. But in my opinion, I guess I've tried both, right? When I first got Jigsaw, I didn't pay for the 50 a month because I didn't think I needed it. I wanted to save money. I was a cheap bastard, right? And then I realized, frig, man, look how easy this is. Put my order there, you know. Anyways, it works well. Inspired by Dimebag or Dave Mustaine? Both, man. I love those guys. They're friggin' amazing. I used to know how to play a lot of Megadeth tunes. So Jigsaw tool, you can connect to your broker. Yeah, you can connect it to a lot of brokers. Well, basically it depends on the data feed. So look, this is all the data feeds. Sorry, these are my connections, but these are all the data feeds that Jigsaw supports. Gain, IQ feed, Rhythmic, CQG, Trade of 8. This is TT, but it's just for getting trade history, so it doesn't count. Stellar, I don't know what that is. Bitfinex, this is a new connection that they're starting. JX feed, I don't know what this is either. IBTWS, you can connect and get stocks data, equities data using IBTWS or using IQ feed. I would recommend IQ feed because IBTWS, their level 1 data, can go fuck itself. It's the absolute garbage. But actually IBTWS has more level 2 data than IQ feed does, from what I heard. But IQ feed, their level 1 feed is the best for stocks. So yep. I'm trying to remember that riff from that other tune, which I can't remember right now. Does Bookmap offer in-depth order book flow on DOM? I don't know, man. I think it does, but I never used it, so I couldn't tell you. But I think it does, yeah.
I heard Bookmap's pretty good. You should check it out. I'm trying to remember that riff. I just can't remember it for whatever reason. In case anyone wants to, here I'll show you that that tune I was playing before. Take a look at this. Here, look. Ah, sorry. Get on the right friggin' menu. Where'd it go? Ah, there we go. If you like Egyptian music or guitar music, this amazing Egyptian musician album right here, Kulthum by Omar Khorshid. This is what I was playing before, Fakaruni, and I'm gonna jam to this right now as I get off the stream. I can't play it on the stream because I'm gonna get copyright claimed. so yeah, but at least I'm gonna see if they copyright claim me for just playing the melody on the guitar. I don't think so, because I played it in the other stream as well and they didn't do anything. So okay guys, I'm out of here. I'm tired and I have something to do at 5 o'clock here, so I'll see you later. Cheers. Thanks for joining. I love you guys. Appreciate it. And if you have any suggestion for the stream in the future, let me know down below. Because I'm always trying to improve my stuff. You know, I'm trying to improve the stream, get it better, do the best I can. You know, I was trying to get better every day. All right. So I hope you guys had a great week, and I wish you a great weekend. Take care. Changing my